Welcome to the Whose Body Is It podcast. I'm your host, Isabella Malvin. For those who don't know me, I'm a birth worker, a life coach, hypnotist, and a former liberal feminist turned radical truth teller. On this podcast, I expose the forces at play attempting to control our minds and bodies, such as transgender ideology, pornography, prostitution, and so much more. Together, we'll untangle patriarchal lies as you listen to jaw-dropping interviews with women from around the world. Warning, while listening to this podcast, you might find yourself triggered or perhaps notice where you've been biting your tongue on the issues that matter most to you. In my coaching and hypnosis, I help women and men stop getting triggered by every single thing, cultivate resilience, stop unwanted behaviors, and increase self-confidence. You can book your first session at whosebodyisit.com, and you can find that link in the episode show notes. And I just want to say that it's because of your endless support that I'm able to interview amazing women, get their stories out, and produce regular episodes for you. So with that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And if you're listening in, leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And also consider making a financial contribution via the link in my show notes. You can also visit my activist sticker shop. My pro-woman stickers have the power to intercept transhumanist programming. So take a photo of your stickers out in the wild and tag me on Instagram at Whose Body Is It. Oh gosh, well, it's 2022, and sadly, everyone's child will encounter transgender ideology. It's no longer a matter of if, but when. Perhaps you've seen what's going on in schools and in the media and want to be able to talk to the children in your life about it preventatively, but don't know where to start. Maybe you don't even have children, but you've noticed that all kids seem to be learning in school these days is what the letters LGBTQI+++ stand for. Maybe you want to do something about it because you simply care about the future of humanity. Now, we know the stakes are high. We're not just talking about this ending with new pronouns and a new name. We're talking the permanent dismembering of a child's intact and perfect body. We're talking about organ damage and a lifetime of negative side effects from the wrong sex hormones, and that's just the beginning. Mary Lou Singleton and I will be hosting a masterclass for parents and concerned citizens on how to effectively protect your child from this anti-human, anti-woman, pharma-funded ideology. This masterclass is for you if you care deeply about safeguarding the minds and bodies of our children against a predatory ideology and medical industry. If you're sick of hearing the party lines that a child can be born in the wrong body or assigned the wrong sex at birth, if you've been told that social transition isn't a big deal, Mary Lou and I are here to remind you that you are not crazy. We can resist this by taking a firm stance against the pharmaceutical drug industry that is preying upon our children. So if you're a parent and you're sick of being told that you're not the authority on your child and that you're even transphobic for questioning your child's desires and demands, you have come to the right place. In our upcoming masterclass, you'll gain clarity on the harms of, quote, gender medicine, have your concerns validated, and gain the confidence to protect our children with compassion, discernment, and consciousness. The masterclass will be hosted on Zoom on November 10th at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, if you're in Europe or Australia or in Africa or Asia and the time doesn't make sense for you, you will get access to the replay. So whether or not you can join us live, the following day, you will get a link that gives you access to the masterclass through November 2024. You can secure the early bird price of $99 now through November 11th. All that information is linked in the episode show notes. Without further ado, let's get into this week's story. So this past weekend, Kellie-Jay Keen, also formerly known as Posie Parker, came to Austin to do a speaker's corner as part of her U.S. tour. It was such an exciting opportunity for the Terfs of Austin to get together, to meet Kellie-Jay for the first time, and to connect.
So, the way we normally start it, you have to say the word turf, and it goes like this. What a day this has been, what a rare mood I'm in, why it's almost like being a turf. International catchphrases, how good are they? Okay, so we're here today to say the words out loud that some of you are no longer allowed to say, which is women don't have penises, that it's wrong to transition children, that it's medical abuse to give children puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and 13-year-old girls double mastectomies.
So the Speaker's Corner was at the Capitol here in Austin, Texas. One thing that was distinct, I think, about this event compared to other Speaker's Corners around the world, in the UK, other parts of the US, was that we had a killer team of private security. These were, as Kellie-Jay called them, strapping men with guns. It was a total game changer to help, facilitate this event and to be a part of it, to feel, just incredibly protected. There's no really other way of putting it. I felt protected. The women who attended felt protected because they were protected, in a very material, literal sense. And I received lots of messages from you, from sisters in Israel, from across the US, Canada, Australia, even, saying what a difference it made to watch the live stream from Kellie-Jay's channel, to see that we were all gathered and supported by these men. We did have some counter protesters.
Terfs go home! 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 Terfs go home!
Now, again, this wasn't protest, right? This is simply a speaker's corner. Kellie-Jay has started this tradition in the UK and brought it here to the US. And it's really just letting women speak, because of the way that we've been silenced across technology, social media, the way that women are fired for speaking the truth, for saying that men can't become women, women can't become men, that putting children on puberty blockers is a form of child abuse. We know what happens to women who say these things. And so, yeah, to gather and to witness some women, for the first time, take the mic and say what they mean and mean what they say was really powerful.
I am the voice of the silent majority of women. They did not ask me to speak for them. Like me, they do not think they should speak. After all, it's not their fight. They're busy with soccer games and diapers and their careers and their church groups. They are just living out their tired, busy lives, trying to get it all done. You are all of our daughters and all of our sisters. You showed me how to be courageous and how to speak the truth, and standing for women gave me a voice.
Single cell in my body, from my hair follicles to my toenails, it's female. Every single one.
I didn't speak at this speak out. I was very much enjoying being kind of an onlooker for the day, being more on the production facilitator kind of end of things. When Meghan Murphy and I got news that Kellie-Jay was coming to Austin, Meghan and I put together a VIP turf cocktail hour. And because I'm here on the ground in Austin, I found the venue and yeah, got that going. And it was, again, always a collaboration and opportunity to work with other turfs. It's just really awesome. And so, yeah, we wanted to do this kind of more lighthearted event to get women to really talk and get to know each other outside of the context of, outside of social media, in the flesh, women meeting other local women to continue to collaborate and cultivate friendships with. So I was on the planning end of the cocktail hour, and I want to tell you about something that really amazing happened. It was a real turf miracle, I think, as Meghan put it. When producing these events, I was also on the production for the Austin Public Library event, Women Leaving the Left. If you haven't heard about that event that we did, you can watch the replay on my YouTube channel. After, having the experience of planning that, it was always, it's tricky in terms of knowing how much to say about the content of what we're doing. And so for the public library, I was totally transparent with the people at the library about, what this event was for. But when it comes to something like hosting a cocktail hour, at a venue, it's always a bit tricky to know what to say, because we don't want to have any surprises. We certainly don't want to be poisoned or ambushed or kicked out. And it's crazy times. So we have to be aware of, what could happen when people find out, what we stand for. As crazy as that sounds, it's totally controversial, as all of you know, to say what a woman is. So I made it clear to the venue that we were a group of women's rights activists. I called it a kind of a women's rights activist influencer event, I think is what I said. And, the venue was like, cool, awesome, see you then. So I had mentioned a bit of uncertainty or kind of insecurity around kind of not knowing what to expect from this venue to Kellie-Jay and to Mary Lou Singleton and to Meghan Murphy. But we were all just hoping for the best. And to our surprise and delight, it turned out that one of the staff members who was assisting us in this event was a total and complete TERF. Yes, it was amazing. This person actually cried, was so emotional when he found out that it was Posie, who was one of the, featured VIP TERFs who was, so he got to meet someone that he really looks up to, someone who he really respects. And it was just a match made in TERF heaven. So this brings me to a point that I've talked about, perhaps, one-on-one with clients, but I don't think I've really brought it to the podcast. But it's the idea of willingness around being surprised. And this is one of the questions that I've asked myself over the past 3 years is, do I have a willingness to be surprised? Do I have a willingness to find allies in unexpected places? And this is a question I return to as frequently as I remember, because what it does is it really shifts the energy in my body around openness and possibility and curiosity and hope, really, is what it is. And it's not a blind faith. It's not a spiritual bypass. It's a question to play with. It's a question that I ask myself. And this was one of those, circumstances where, we were all really surprised and happy. And that energy was really, vitalizing and hopeful, especially, in the aftermath of what happened in Tacoma with one of the women at the speaker's corner getting her fingers broken by a counter protester, what they call themselves the trans rights activists. We know them as men who don't want women to speak. So yeah, I wanted to give y'all like a bit of an insight on that weekend and how powerful it was and just how awesome it was to meet so many of you there. So if you're listening and you were there this weekend and we got a chance to talk, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for getting a ticket to the VIP cocktail hour on behalf of the VIP TERFs. I just want to say thank you for showing up and for being visible and for being brave enough to connect and show yourself. Yeah, we really appreciate you, and can't wait to host more of these social events to give everyone an opportunity, to mingle more. One thing that I wanted to mention, if you haven't seen already, is that Mary Lou Singleton and I are going to be co-hosting a retreat in New Mexico in Truth or Consequences in February, the first weekend of February. The content of the retreat is women's fertility and abortion outside the medical paradigm. And if you attended our one-day workshop a couple months ago, it's going to be an extension of that. We're going to be going way more in depth. And the best part about the retreat is that we are going to be at the Healing Hot Springs at La Paloma, again in New Mexico, in Truth or Consequences. These hot springs at La Paloma are one of the only unpumped hot springs in I think left in New Mexico, to my knowledge. So yeah, if you'd like a chance to really sink in, literally soak and sink into the wisdom of and knowledge that Mary Lou Singleton has to offer, please consider joining us in February 3rd to the 6th. We'll arrive on a Friday evening and everyone will leave Monday morning. It's going to be truly a magical time. To secure your spot in the upcoming masterclass next week that Mary Lou and I are teaching, or to join us in February for our retreat, you can head to my website, whosebodyisit.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend or family member who needs to hear this content. And if you do share it on social media, don't forget to follow and tag me at whosebodyisit. So until next time,